Beach, California. Now I'll start. Hi, everybody. I'm RJ Ross. I'm actually calling from Newport Beach, California. Um, and good friends with Kenny, right? He's the one who invited both my wife and I to the platform. And we own two different businesses that kind of work hand in hand. One is a business concierge, where we help people with headhunting, funding, marketing, sales, and legal. And then the second business, we basically franchised and gamified the financial world, right? So basically, all the things that they taught that they should have taught us in school about money and business, we kind of teach it on there. And we have about 6 offices across the whole United States. And the goal is to take our business valuation to about 25 million in less than 5 years. So,
That's a big goal. I like it. What's the
yeah,
name of that?
kingdom management.
I'm writing that down.
And yeah, and thanks to Kenny for the invite. He's been an amazing friend. He's the type of guy that we just like connecting with and just love shooting ideas around. And his family is wonderful. So if anyone gets to meet
Oh,
Kenny's family, especially his mom can cook.
thank you, man. Yeah, yeah, that's why I'm bringing him out there. In a couple weeks, we're supposed to be getting together in Texas, soon for an event, and it's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be
It's
really
gonna be a
cool.
ton of fun.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
And hopefully there's some Wingstop out there. I'm not sure.
Oh, there'll always be wings.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah. In that spirit, bringing in people who are a little bit further along, RJ definitely checks those boxes for sure.
Yeah, awesome. That's really exciting. I'm gonna check that out because I think that I mean, we'll talk later. Thomas, I'm curious about you.
Yeah. Um, Hi, I'm Thomas Lavoy. This is my second time showing up to this event. Um, I am still in about the first month or so of building my own digital marketing agency. Still trying to kind of find my niche. Um, Spent the last 5 years working for other companies as media director, marketing director, all that. And then for the last 10 years, I've been doing video production and video marketing through my own business. Um, and then I have a little bit of history as a um, film producer as well. So a lot of video and film in my history. And yeah, just trying to get this thing off the ground. Starting to think about going into paid video ads as the niche. Um, and kind of going back and forth between, building the brand, the website and all that, and then also nailing down what the services are. So constant battle between those two tasks. And just in the Uber networking phase. So looking to meet as
Love
many
it.
people as I can.
When were you on the call last?
I think last week.
Okay, so you were part of the legacy
Yeah, the one with the
conversation.
drama. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay,
Um,
awesome. Kenny, you're up.
Yeah, sorry, I had to mute because my dogs were acting up a little bit.
You're fine.
Um,
Mine's right here tonight because they've been shooting guns out back and she does not appreciate it.
oh, well, she feels safe with you. That's important.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hi guys. How you doing? My name is Kenny, and my company is Atlas Studios. So we primarily deal with business development. We have departments that facilitate branding, strategy, marketing, or anything cool that you want to build. Right? That could be a mobile app, your website, or even a program with one button. Right? That just tells you what the weather is. Why not? Right? So essentially, if you can imagine it, we can build it, and yeah, we got you.
Amazing. I'm Abigail, your host. Um, I do full charge accounting and remote CFO services, and I am top secret information rebranding my membership. I'm gonna come up with a more I have the name already, and I guess I'll share it. Although I don't know it that well. I just came up with it yesterday. Business Kickstarter. There's another word there. I just came up with it yesterday, but the prior name was very convoluted and kind of niche, and so I'm gonna try something a little bit new. Um, anywho, July, we've been talking about legacy planning. We had a really great conversation. Thomas was there last week. We missed you, Kenny, but that's okay. We're here now. And since it's such a small group and we are coming from a wide range of like current statuses, we can certainly open this discussion up to whatever you guys are needing help with or want to help someone else with. But like we might as well start on the legacy foot. Um, the idea behind legacy, what are you trying to leave behind? And that could be, you know, specifically, obviously, we're all here to have business discussions, but that could be your personal life as well, and just like who you are and how you stand out as an individual.
Mhm.
But it's also specifically covering like how you plan to exit your industry if you're an owner, or if you don't plan to exit, how do you plan to continue beyond your life on Earth?
Wow, that's a good one. It's funny because RJ and I touched on this the other day. He had a meeting with my brother, where he was kind of showing him, educating him on stuff that his mentor had taught him and imparted to him. And part of that was legacy, right? Like what would he like to leave behind? And I guess my answer would be kind of similar, right? Um, Eventually, I would like to branch off from Atlas, right? Because I work for the company, right? Um, so I'm trying to do my own thing, right? Establish my own agency, and from there, kind of build it up, through strategic partnerships and friendships, like with RJ. Um, and just leave something behind that I can be proud of, right, for my children. Maybe build up some generational wealth, but also teach them the value of that hard work, right? Not just here you go. So I do want them to kind of, I want to be young enough where they can still see the process that I'm going through, so that when I get to the point where I can retire, right, or step back from it, or give it to them, they already know how much of my heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears that I've put into it.
Yep, we had an awesome guy here in the group last week from somewhere in West Africa. I forget which specific country it was.
Cool.
And he had such a great story. He comes from a very, you know, rural, impoverished area, and he's very well educated, very worldly view, and he's bringing in some of this like legacy aspect to a new agricultural business. They
Hmm.
grow potatoes. And part of their core values is like quality, and it's also training the next generation, but like showing them, not just showing them like how to plant and grow, because they're a little bit bigger than that. I think there's some kind of co-op situation. Um, like the entire process. So like they're going out into the fields, they're doing the harvesting, they're doing the planting, they're also coming in and doing the administrative stuff and like kind of seeing it on a more global scale. And I think that's really important, like teaching the next generation, especially if you're trying to build something that's going to outlive you.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Definitely.
it's important.
Yeah.
With that being said, um, and the reason why I brought up the strategic partnership with RJ is because he actually came to me with a favor, right? Because him and Ali, I can't even tell you how much they've done for me already, right? So the fact that they actually came to me and say, "Hey, like we might need some help with this," I was like, "Dude, whatever you need, man. Like I'm there, absolutely."
Yeah,
Right?
we
And we're
definitely.
actually meeting tomorrow, right? I'm introducing him to Kevin. Um, and we're gonna, first of all, chop it up, right? Just get to know each other. And maybe talk about some details about maybe what they're looking for, like for the project that he mentioned. But yeah,
Exactly.
building stones.
Exactly. And a- do you prefer Abby or Abigail?
Abby is fine.
Okay, that's I was just asking because my sister's named Abigail, so I was just wondering.
Do you
She
call her Abigail or Abby?
uh if I was going to call her by her normal name, then yeah, I'd call her Abby.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my normal name, but I go by Abigail. I go by Ab. So
Yeah,
it'll
I have a bunch of nicknames for her, but
yeah.
yeah, that's why I was like, I never
Yeah.
call her by her normal name. But did you, Abby, did you say you do accounting?
Yes.
That's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
uh, how many clients do you have on roster?
First of all, I love it, and I know that that's something most people can't relate to. So I appreciate you saying that's cool.
I think it's
I'm
cool.
in like the 20 range right now. I've got a team of 4, and they range from startup to like $10 million a year right now that I'm
Oh, okay.
working
Well,
with.
I'm excited to connect with you offline, but
Yeah.
just Kenny, maybe we give her the other ticket,
Yeah.
right?
I would love to, yeah.
Right. But just to back the whole idea about legacy. Allie and I don't have kids yet. We're trying next year, but every decision that we make, both in personal life and in business, we really like actually the password for almost all of our servers is the 4 unborn kids' names, right? Just because we want it to be that prevalent every single time we log in to do client paperwork, like what we're doing it for, right? So it's the goal is to have passive residual income from that. But the reason why we're even going after the active and passive residual income is to be more involved in conversations like this, right? Both Allie and I really can hang our hat on entrepreneurship and the ability of being business owners as the reason why we are who we are today, right? And just wanting to help more people become business owners in whatever facet that looks like, whether they're self-employed or they have a company of like 300 people and they're worth 50 million, right? We really don't care where they're at. We just really want to help further along this power of entrepreneurship because it's so crazy that 200 years ago, everyone, like 95% of the population, were business owners, right? And that was like the main focus of it all. And kind of even the reason why we left England, right? 4th of July, we just celebrated that. That was kind of part of the whole reason why we left. And then fast forward 200 years now it's 95% employees. And nothing wrong with being an employee, right? Like you have to do what you got to do, but just my mentor really like he's grilled it into me that if you are talking about benefits equals slavery because that's basically the business owner or someone saying they could buy you because they chose to give you those benefits, right? You're like, oh, we'll take care of your dental. Oh, we'll give you a 10% raise. Like, what did they understand at giving you all those benefits and those raises that you don't get understand by, right? Most of us are entrepreneurs on here. We like we literally just had to take care of our own dental and stuff like that, but we got to choose what plan we wanted and how much we pay and which healthcare benefits we don't want and stuff like that, right? So to me, legacy is very much about choice and about continuing the idea of entrepreneurship. And I don't care if someone has to be an employee because they just have bills to pay and things like that. I think everyone needs a side hustle, at least for tax write-off purposes. So,
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a whole other conversation, Abby and I
right.
have
You're stirring my pot.
had.
In
Okay.
a good way or a
In a
bad
really
way?
good way. You're about like I'm about to just shoot right off.
That's a nice callback. Yeah. We
Yeah.
we literally had a whole conversation about that the other day.
Yeah.
I have, you know, well, sticking with the theme here, and I wanted to, and Thomas, jump right in,
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
absolutely.
Okay, good. Um, I was just talking to a friend of mine earlier, I was on her podcast about, one of my missions with my upcoming membership, um, is helping people get from like concept to reality with their entrepreneurship journey. I'm really like narrowing that down, like the startup phases. I've worked with a lot, like friends will call me all the time and say, help me, I have this business idea. And I'm like, oh, it's amazing. Like, and I don't sleep at night. And I'm like, this. And then when it comes down to it, they're either like not ready, or they're really just seeing like my freedom of choice and my freedom of time, and like they want a piece of that action. And sometimes at the end of the day, something someone said to me years ago, and it was really in reference to relationships, but I think it's like in reference to pretty much all things, is there's a lid to every pot. So like the world needs employees and it needs entrepreneurs, and sometimes people want to be an entrepreneur, but at the end of the day, they might not have what it takes. And I think that's like an ugly truth, but it takes grit and determination, and like you really have to make some sacrifices to get where we all are today. Like the early days of entrepreneurship are scary and they're hard, and sometimes you don't know how your bills are going to get paid, and you have to face that and get over it. And sometimes also, I've had an experience where a good friend of mine was, she inherited multiple generations of wealth, and very well educated, had a beautiful idea of how to treat and help other people with like art therapy for psychology. And at the end of the day, she didn't need to work. And so I poured my heart and soul into this concept for her because this is theoretically what she wanted, but there was no why behind it. And so it ultimately fizzled out. She spent a lot of time like um, creating programs or organizing her office space or creating a website, and like no time trying to gain clients.
Doing the
That's where
dirty.
that's where yeah, that's the back and forth I'm struggling with is like I spent the first week or two on that same stuff. And like eventually you realize this is not what the business is. Like
Right.
Yeah.
working on what is the service, getting that nailed down, and then finding the people to give that service to is
There was a guy here a few weeks ago, not July, it was in June. Kenny, I don't know if you remember him. He had like a brilliant idea, had no idea how he was gonna like serve
Hmm.
the idea, but he was like, I don't care. Once I get the client, I will figure that out. And it was kind of like a lot of people had like a huge light bulb moment, because it's like, you've got it in you. You just need the client first, and then you'll figure out the processes and the service. Like if the client calls and they need marketing and you're like, sure, I can do that, but then you figure out what it is,
Yeah.
you can do the service after.
Yeah.
yeah.
Are
Was
you
that
guys from?
Oh, I'm
Go
sorry, RJ. I was gonna say that might have been Adam or maybe Diego.
Not Diego.
Well, it might
Diego's
have been Adam.
laser
ahead.
focused.
Oh yeah.
And I just totally agree with what you're saying, Abby. Like, have you guys ever heard of the book E-Myth by Michael Gerber?
No.
So
E-Myth?
he talks E-Myth by Michael Gerber. He he calls what you just described the entrepreneurial seizure. That everyone thinks it's, oh my God, hey, you know what? I I'm pretty good at this personal fitness thing. Yeah, I should go and do X, Y, and Z, or hey, I'm really good at marketing, or hey, I'm really good at whatever it is, right? And they get this entrepreneurial seizure and this idea that they think and it doesn't help that the way social media portrays entrepreneurship, it's okay. You can wear a fancy suit now and or wake up whenever you want and do whatever, and everyone associates it with making of the websites, working on your brand. And Michael Gerber's whole argument is there's uh, three different versions of you that are the entrepreneur, and you need all three of them to be a successful entrepreneur. So there's the first one, which is the visionary, which everyone gets caught being in, right? It's kind of like with your friend, great idea, or oh my God, this is so good. And everyone gets stuck on that, like, well, what's our logo going to look like? Oh, what's our motto going to be, right? And then, ooh, let's play with the website. And then there's the actual tactician, right? So this is the person who actually does the dirty. Other people get stuck in this also. Funny enough, it's usually bookkeepers or accountants or CPAs, right? They're just like, well, let's just help the client, just help the client, just help the client, and they never think about how to build their brand or even how to
Mhm.
scale, right? Which is sometimes what, like the branding parts from the visionary aspect, because they're just like, I don't know, just write TDX taxing. Yeah, that sounds good.
It's
And they're like,
usually
well, what
first
the
name, last name,
exactly? And you're like,
potential LLC.
yeah, and you're like, what the hell is TDX taxing? You're like, Theodore, whatever, whatever, extreme taxing. And you're like, no one's going to get that. And
Yeah.
then the third person is the manager. And the manager is the one who learns how to delegate. So that way
Mhm.
you can scale, right? So, and usually that person, they get just stuck in, well, like, well, let's go and find like the right team. And they just focus so much on like, well, we have to recruit and train the right person. Like, nah, man, at the first person you need hired is just your tax person and your person who's gonna keep a track of all your books. Like money coming in, money coming out. We don't really need a whole lot of extra fluff and stuff like that. But each person gets stuck in their own thing, and if they don't learn to evolve in what other two they need, uh, they get stuck. So yeah, that's Michael Gert. He beautifully lays it out and explains how to get out of each phase.
Interesting. I'm gonna check that out because I do feel like sometimes I can get into one phase and it's hard to get into another phase. I've definitely been in those three phases, but like currently I'm in the do the client work phase and less in the branding phase. And
Which
I
is
did
funny because
just like hire somebody to delegate to, so
did
that'll
you?
be good.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait a step.
What's that? We lost you, RJ.
You froze just a little bit.
Hi.
What up,
Frozen.
Kenny? How's it, Abby?
Abby, what's up? How's it
Hello.
going?
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Good to see you. You're like coming in and out a little bit. Your internet too.
Yeah,
Thomas, did
it's
you
like,
have any thoughts on that?
Um,
Oh,
that
hold on.
sounds
Did we just lose you?
Look,
exactly
the
what
lights
my
outside are
days are
flickering too.
like.
Well,
Stuck
but
in
that's because he's messing with the
yeah.
Hold on, you guys.
yeah, let's give it a minute.
I'm gonna mute them until they come back, if I can. Mute. I don't know. What were you saying, Thomas?
Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty much my days right now is like jumping back and forth. I spent a while doing the branding and now I have, a logo, a name that I love and starting a website and um realizing there's no purpose to it yet. And then, jumping over, oh, I gotta figure out what the services are. And then like learn the services because I'm still kind of trying to figure out the niche and making sure I know exactly what it is I'm going to do. So I'm now in like a master class for paid ads on Meta, and then today I'm like maybe I should focus on just finding clients. So you do a day of outreach and um, yeah, I totally can understand the problem of getting stuck in one of those. Um,
It's also great for ADHD or ADD if you have those,
yeah,
because you can like kind of, it's a strength in this. But I was gonna say, I think that for you and your, the industry that you're in, having the website and having the logo, like that's kind of like your portfolio. So I would say
right.
that is like a very good use of your time because
Yeah. It feels
a
weird to
new
like reach
client's
out to
gonna judge you.
clients and be like, yeah, I can market and sell you, but I haven't done it for myself. That feels weird to be in that position.
Yeah, no, the analogy that comes to mind for me is like every plumber has a leaky pipe, right? It's like you help people with their problems, but when it
Mhm.
comes to you, it's like you need to take the time to focus on that as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and in my experience, just working with startups in general, I think you're on the right track. You know what I mean? Like solidifying your services, right? Finding your audience, and leaning into your skill sets, right? Because that helps you figure out what your services are, right?
Right.
Like you mentioned, video marketing. Do you help with strategies as well, or like wireframing in that sense?
Yeah, I'm starting to get into that. I've done that for the companies I've worked for in the past. It's just kind of figuring out if that's going to be one of my pillar offers.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, if you feel confident enough in it, you can slap a price on that, and add it to the list for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Who is your ideal client?
Um, so far it's been tech startups for in the Pacific Northwest. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. So like fintech and SAS, and then going back and forth between like them and just local small businesses. But that's what I do with my video production service was with local small businesses and was running into, budget issues a lot with clients. And just not looking to deal with in that sector quite as much. So, and then the company I worked for the last 2.5 years doing marketing was the same thing. They were working with small businesses, and constantly hitting budget issues with the clients, and then they're now going out of going out of business, run out of money, um, and all that. So seeing a lot of issues with that, I'm trying to target away from that.
Interesting. Oh,
Yeah, that's good.
he's in the
Y-
waiting
Yeah,
room.
he just texted me.
Was
Um,
not, I had it open, but I like what I was paying attention to Thomas there for a second and missed your entry, but I got you back. Welcome back.
It's all good. Thank you. They're
We
doing
were just
construction.
talking about Thomas's ideal client.
yeah, his ICP.
I like it. Who's your ICP?
Tech startups, SAS, startups, and a little bit, maybe in the beginning, local small businesses in Pacific Northwest.
With healthy budgets.
Yes.
Yeah, not the shoestring variety.
Not the
Yeah.
existing variety. Yeah. Spent the
Got
last two
it.
and a half years working with them, and
So you can't help me with my bubble gum and nickels. Got it. So I'll get a bigger budget.
probably not. Yeah.
Okay. Dang it.
You could, I mean, this is just a thought, but like offer like a freebie for like guerrilla, here's some guerrilla marketing tips, DIY, and hope that invests in them enough to get them to a point where they can afford to pay you.
Yeah.
Um, or, because I have a similar issue where a lot of people will come to me and like been doing this for a while. I end up giving a lot of free advice out, and I don't mind it because I love what I do, but at the same time, a lot of the advice I'm giving is like very high value. And after talking with Kenny and your boss there, I was like, oh my God, like I'm ultimately undervaluing myself
Yeah.
by doing this.
Oh,
For example, I had I don't, Kenny was around. I had a tax prep dinner. So like I'm not a CPA or an enrolled agent, but I had a bunch of girlfriends who wanted free advice over for dinner and had a potluck situation. So like I didn't even really have to do anything, but I lend my brain to these girls. They came to me and like I just helped one of them finish her tax return. She got like $6,500 back. And I'm like, I mean, she's helping me out like with my branding and stuff because she's my ideal client. And I'm like, where's the gap that I'm missing with this membership? And she's like really helped. So we're trading service. But
Abby, we need to talk offline.
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
was gonna say, we didn't do it this week, but I was gonna leave my info down below, just in the
yeah,
chat. Yeah.
yeah. Feel free to drop that all in the chat too.
Yeah,
I
Abby,
mean,
we
it's
got to
just a
chop it
few of
up.
us, but Yeah,
Where do you live?
Maine.
Okay, cool. Dang
Yeah.
it. I was just there, bro. We could have.
Yeah,
Are
he
you?
was just on the East Coast the other day.
I
Yep.
was literally, dude, I did a huge East Coast. We went to Punta Cana for a week, Miami for a week, uh, Baltimore for a week. Then we went to go hang out with Kenny for 3 or 4 days, and then we went to New York for 3 or 4 days. Then we went back home. Like
I
we were
miss
gone
New
for like
York.
ever.
Yeah.
Like like I came back with a beard. It was crazy.
Kenny's
Like it,
got a beard. Did you
I
have
know
that last time I saw
Oh yeah,
you?
I'm growing it out.
Kenny
It's
has a way
Oh,
more solid beard. But Thomas, if you are you open to some advice for
Oh,
your
absolutely. Definitely.
people?
Yeah.
So what I tell everyone is you need to do something what I call 4x4, right? And basically 4x4 is you need to go talk to 3 or 4 friends and then meet 3 or 4 what I call centers of influence. And with these 8 people, you need to just give them a quick one sheeter of of everything that you kind of do, right? And these, the reason why you're giving it to your 3 or 4 friends is because I say, like, we do this with a bunch of other businesses, but no one really thinks about applying it to all of their businesses, right? Like, think about it. If the 4 of us started a restaurant right now and we were going to open up this weekend, we would all be homeless in less than a month, right? Because there's no way, like, maybe if we had like a poppin' spot, maybe people would be walk in and be like, hey, what's this new spot, right? But all smart restaurant owners have soft launches, right? Where they basically invite all their friends and family, they invite a bunch of people in the community, they let them sample, right? Either get the food for free or have a bunch of sample platters, and then they give them coupon cards and they're like, hey, send a bunch of your friends over, whoever you know. And now you've turned everyone else into your walking and talking billboards, right? So that's what you definitely want to do with your friends and family. And then when I talk about the 3 or 4 centers of influence, it's people like Abby or like CPAs or bookkeepers or business consultants. And you just tell them, hey, you just kind of want to know a little bit about what I do, just because I can be an added value add to your current clientele. Everyone wants to look good to their clients, right? Everyone, my mentor always said, your income and your net worth is directly correlated to the value that you bring to the marketplace. So if you're the go-to person for everything, like actually, Allie and I just had someone ask us whether or not they should buy a house in Texas. Allie and I don't know anything about real estate, but we've solidified ourselves as the financial gurus and the money person that they didn't even feel comfortable talking to a real estate agent until they talked to us. And then they asked us if we had any real estate agent friends in Texas. We live in California and we hang out in Florida. Texas has nothing to do with our lives. But because we did that, we've positioned ourselves as the conciliary, if you will, right? If this was the mob, we're the conciliary, the consultant that they always go to. So you can go reach out to people like Abby or people like Abby who have those similar careers and just offer them like a 10 or 15% finder's fee, right? It doesn't even have to be large, but as long as you find them, because if you just walked up to a bunch of CPAs or a bunch of business consultants, you're like, "Hey, I do marketing," they're gonna be like, "Yeah, great. It's you and 20 other thousand people on LinkedIn, right? You all want to talk to our clients because we have a built-in book of business. Kick rocks, right? Unless they're your
So I'll tell you right now, RJ, as you say that, I do get a lot of people approach me marketing and some marketing, but mostly financial advisors and insurance brokers, and
always,
they want my book of business without giving me anything in return.
right?
And I will say the only thing that I'm looking for in return, and I can't speak for everybody in my industry, but I will speak for those who have passion and heart for it. The only thing we're looking for is someone to treat our clients with respect and understand what they're doing and actually get them somewhere. Insurance agents
100%.
and financial advisors, I don't believe that their interests are in the best interest of my client, but if I meet a marketing person who has passion and fire and like wants to offer them some bit of information or just like light up their day for a few minutes, like I will spotlight that person in a heartbeat because that
Exactly.
actually contributes to the growth of my clients, which contributes to the growth of my work and contributes to the growth of your
Yeah.
work. It's like a ripple effect.
Yeah, we call it I call it a evergreen marketing tactic, Thomas.
Mhm.
So like if you called Abby and you're like, "Hey, how many clients do you have on roster?" That's why I asked her how many clients she had on roster, right? I really quickly wanted to figure out what's her business acumen, if you will, right? So
Right.
with someone who has about 30 to 40 people clientele or a rotating roster like that, you know they're doing pretty well, right? And they're probably looking for some other avenue to stand out from their competitors or just to bring extra value. So if you told someone like, it's funny that we keep using Abby and she's here, but like someone like Abby and you're like, hey, I want to do a free marketing class that's going to help your clients get at least 20 more, 2,000 more views on their Instagram. I would love to do that as a cool little gift to your clients. Can we do that? And if they follow what they do, what I say, and they like it, I would love for them to book a one-on-one with me and just have a free consultation on how I can take it to the next level with the right package. What I found, there isn't a business consultant alive or anyone who has a built-in book of business that wouldn't say yes to that.
Yeah, I'm saying yes right now.
Yes. See, there you go.
Yeah.
RJ's your sales guy. Okay.
You're welcome,
Yeah, I was
Thomas.
gonna say,
Cool.
All
First
right.
one's first one's free.
Love
Yes.
it. You know,
Uh,
I do the same, I do a very similar thing. Like if I get somebody on a phone call, um, it's easy for me to close the sale just because it's the passion, but it's also like I already know they're already calling me because they need help. And then I just give
Right.
them the opportunity to talk themselves even more into it.
Yep.
It's a very manipulative, but it's actually like
I don't
reverse
even
psychology.
I don't even think it's really manipulative. In
It's
my head, it's
authentic. Yeah.
like if you're
Yeah.
doing, especially you, Abby,
if
what you're
you have
doing is
integrity, manipulative is definitely a negative connotation for sure.
definitely, yeah.
But
I tell
and
all my
you know, I'll say no to a client I don't want
oh
in a
all day.
heartbeat. Yeah.
We Allie and I just did it. We
Yeah.
literally just told so. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard Allie. She just said not all money's good money. We're like yes,
No.
Yeah.
kick
Some money
rocks.
comes with a very high energetic price,
Yeah,
you
uh,
know?
yeah. We jokingly say everyone is a mutual fund. There's the ones that give you high return on investment, and then there's some that give you high fees, and you get to choose which investments you have in your
Yeah.
portfolio, aka your life, right? Like
Yeah.
I will take a low return on investment and no fee for like this is like friends who are just starting out in business versus someone who just the moment I see their text, my life force is drained,
Yeah.
right?
I've been through that same
See,
thing.
we're all nodding our head because we all have that one person that we're thinking of, right?
I just
Yep.
did it a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. I mean, at the beginning, though, when I first got started, I didn't really say no to anybody. And I still have my very first client, and she's wonderful, and we've worked together for a long time. But you know, I actually one of my I used to work in the restaurant business before I started doing this, and it was fine dining outside of New York City. So we had some code terms. PITA, PITA is pain in the ass. So I had a PITA client, but he was my second client and he was a big client. And he was right down the road from where I lived in New Jersey. And so I took it and I have like bedtime mode on my phone. It goes on at 7 p.m. where no notifications come through. And it's because of him. Because I was getting, you know, like he paid my car payment every month. So like I'm not, and it was my first client. We worked together for a long time, but I had to set boundaries on my end because he'd message me at 2 o'clock in the morning because he was a bar owner and those were his normal business hours. So like he wasn't even the worst. I had a potential client reach out and they were like dragging it on. The onboarding process was going on in 2 months. And I'm like, and they're like, oh, I think we'll have you start July 1st. And I'm like, I'm already on like my fourth interview. And like the second one, I thought I brought my computer. I thought I was starting. Like I don't do that.
Yeah.
And I will be a brat. I don't do that. Like we have our onboarding call. They had already basically hired me. They said they wanted to hire me. So like, why are we talking again? And then we're talking again. And then you're emailing me again. I got to a point and then they wanted to change my contract. And I was like,
Oh man.
no, this is, and
Gotcha.
I said to them about a month ago, they wanted me to start July 1st. I'm like, this is off to a bad start. I am all for clear communication, but I am not for over communication. Like we have talked about this stuff repeatedly. You're wasting my time. Either you want to do this, sign what I've sent you, and I will sign an NDA. I won't sign a non-compete. They're not legally enforceable anyway, so I have signed. I worked for a CPA once. I signed it. I'm looking at them. I'm like, I am competing with you coming into this relationship. So this is already null and void, but whatever. But they never emailed me back after that. It was just like I knew no matter how much they were going to pay me per hour and whether or not they would pay me for all the hours it took to communicate with them, it was going to end up being outside of their budget because they just wanted so much communication. I felt good about saying no.
Yeah, but this is food for thought for Thomas in his situation as well. Because
Yeah,
when you have somebody
definitely.
coming in the door, even as a startup, it doesn't mean you automatically have to say yes, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of do your own kind of vetting, right?
Yeah.
And figure out if they're a good fit. And then the way that this kind of ties into the whole question of legacy is when you look back on it, right? When you're telling your first client story, is it gonna be a PETA kind of situation? Or is it gonna be, hey, this was my first client and we built a great relationship. We still work together to this day, you know?
Right.
So that's phenomenal. The fact that you can be here and kind of just be a sponge, and because Abigail has so much wisdom to share, and likewise with RJ,
Yeah.
so this is a
No,
good
that's
place to be.
yeah, that's why I'm doing these events. It's just I'm I'm doing the 14-hour days right now and kind of trying to fill a good amount of those with just networking events that are relaxing where I just sit and soak up as much as I can. Because it's I find it's a lot better than hopping on YouTube, hopping on LinkedIn Premium and doing the learning that way. Just get out there, meet the people. It's just a way better system. So
I
yeah.
think
Definitely.
RJ's idea, sorry, the reaching out to CPAs for Thomas, like if you go to your regional, Google machine and you specifically go into those CPAs saying, here's my two ideal clients, here's a little bit, you know, the kickback's always a good thing, but I think you'll find most will say no if you're in integrity with your product. But because the idea is everybody, a rising tide carries all ships.
For
Right.
sure. Y-
I bet you get a client, at least one client in the next 10 days through that. Maybe 30 days. I'll give it 30 days just in case.
yeah.
At
Assuming
least one.
assuming the boat is in the water.
Put your boat in the
Yes.
water.
Put
Yes.
your
Put the
boat
boat
in
in the
the water.
water. Yeah, that's the
Make sure
stuff.
their boats are also in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it, and it's because everyone's looking for a sell. So because you're coming and trying to bring value, you're already changing the narrative and you're already standing out differently. And then when you do the evergreen class, once again, they're thinking, really? If I just did that email trick he said, like it's gonna make my Instagram jump, and then they're gonna go home and do it. About 20% are gonna book right then and there, right after the class. Those are always the eager beavers, if you will, right? And then there's always going to be about a 20 to 30% people who go and like, well, let's see if he knows what he's talking about. And then they're gonna go do it and be like, holy crap, that totally just increased my engagement by how much. Man, I like, what else can that guy do? Right?
Yeah.
And then because that was your first thing, and then the second thing is a free consultation again. Like, once again, it's bringing way more. I call it, maybe I call it this because I'm a Libra, so yeah, I guess it's a little funny, but I call it making the scales unbalanced. When you put the scales so unbalanced in your favor, they have no, there's, they have to figure out a way to balance it out, right? It's kind of like if one of the four of us started dominating the conversation with a bunch of questions and the other three are answering them, eventually one of us is going to be like, man, like Kenny's asked so many questions. He knows so much about our lives. We have no idea about this person, right? Like it's just going to feel socially like, so, Kenny, you tell us about your business now. And Kenny's like, oh my God, I'm so glad you asked. And now he has all moral authority to take the last 10 minutes of the conversation because the rest of us were talking the entire time. So, by bringing so much value up at the beginning, they're like, dude, this guy just changed our whole lives off of this for free. What's he gonna do when I finally give him 1,500?
Yeah.
You just have to deliver on that end, right? Like
Right. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
set the whole argument up for
Yeah,
this. So
set the
when they
bar
finally
high.
give you that, yeah. So when they finally bring that 1,500, you can't like fizzle out. But if you do, they'll never. And another tactic that I've also used is have quarterly reviews with your clients. So like, because I come from a business development background, so if you can start having metrics that you start tracking from the very beginning and then
Oh
now
yeah.
you have quarterly reviews with them, and you can show them how you've increased on those quarterly reviews. Now they have no choice but to be like, dang, he held up on it. And it does two things for you. One, now you're going to have a client on roster for as long as the, right now they're like, dude, we're never letting this person go. Like, what did he say? Do we get a discount if we pay annually? I want a discount, pay annually, right? So that's one thing. Two, you could always be like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Client, you understand how great, like, good work I do. I love it. I love the package that we have. I'm not going to ask for a price increase. All I ask is, do you know three or four other business owners that could take a lot of value out of what I do? Well, yeah. Okay, cool. I would love for you to just set up a Zoom call so that way I can do the same free consultation that I did with you when we first met. Do you feel comfortable doing that? And because of the metrics thing, there's not a soul. Like we literally do this with every business that we take over, right? And
They
that,
might
yeah.
even with the metrics, like at least my experience, I've rarely asked for the referral. They're usually throwing them at me because of the
Hmm.
metrics. And my metrics are a little bit different because I'm more like reducing costs, which is increasing profitability, or like increasing expenses to decrease tax. Like those are my metrics. Like how much taxes did you pay? So like, income and expenses are totally irrelevant, but like my goal is to like bring that tax bill down to negative. They give you money
Yeah,
back. But
yeah,
yeah, that's fantastic.
yeah. I just like giving. I hope these help you out, Thomas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
I
Yeah.
would. I'm sorry. I would say take it one step further. Like once you give those free incentives, right? Those free lessons. When you've built your brand up enough, you can actually now choose, right? Leaning into the legacy part, you can choose whether you want to continue giving those free consultations, those free tips, because now you can actually sell them, right? Once you've got the reputation down, people know you. Now you can be like, okay, you know what? No, maybe it's going to be $500 for a consultation now, right? But again, it's a choice.
I do free consults still, but I am very mindful of my time because I'm
Yeah.
not so much consulting as discovering their. So my ex-husband was in sales and he did years of sales training with this company called Sandler. Um,
I've heard of them.
Fantastic. Irritatingly so. Okay. But I learned so much from him while he was going through that process that I'm telling you, like I close them every time. And it's so simple at the end of the day. You keep the prospect talking about why they need your service, and then you just keep saying, "Yep, I've got the solution for that. Here it is. I've got the solution for that. Here it is." And by the end of 30 minutes, like they're already like they're waiting for you to send the contract over. Like, why is it not already in their inbox? And at the end of the day, they did 90% of the talking. I asked like some key questions that just really were like, where do we start questions? Like I always start with, are you using accounting software? Which one is it? When's the last time you filed your taxes? Um, like those usually keep them going a long time, and they're usually going to talk to me. Oh, I just did one last week. I haven't filed since 2023. Am I going to jail? I'm like, you're not going to go to jail. I'm like, but what are you doing to rectify the situation? And they're like, well, and they're telling me the solution that they've already come up with. They just need me to do it for them, which I already know, I'll get off the call and I'll have the game plan, send them a game plan. The email subject literally says game plan and CSA, client services agreement. And then like the following week we get it started.
Yeah, I understand why you use that word now, Abigail, because you're right. It's very strategic in a way, right? Like the right questions will make your prospects sell themselves in a way.
Every time. If you can figure out what questions do you need in order to do your job, they're gonna sell themselves on you in the process because you're just asking the right questions, and it's like you hear them without them having spoken to you before.
Yeah.
They feel heard and seen. But the secret is like they've all got the same problem and you're solving all of them. They're all the same.
I love it. That's awesome. I just
Yeah.
started looking up Sandler sales training.
Yeah, he worked for a company called Celebrate, CELLE, and it was a data extraction company for cell phones. So like their target client was government agencies.
Okay.
Um, and I mean, God, he my ex-husband, great guy. We were, our marriage expired just naturally. Nothing bad to say about him. However, he would fall asleep on the couch. And every night of the 10 years we were married, come to bed. Every time he would say, "Why is that a problem for you?" And that was like a key Sandler question. Like, why is this a problem for you? Can you
Wow.
tell me more about that? Those two
Yeah.
questions right there. Why is this a problem for you? Keeps them talking, and you can ask more questions based on whatever answer they're saying. Tell me more about that. Again, keeps them talking. Oh, I would lose my mind. I would let him sleep on the couch. I would walk away every time. But they are absolutely core questions that I ask during a prospect call. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, they work every time.
My favorite one is so can you tell me how you feel about that, or can you elaborate on what you just said? Those are
Yes.
like my two favorite objection handler questions.
Yeah.
Because you're right. The more you keep talking, having someone talk, and to tie it back to, I love what you keep doing, Kenny. Every freaking
I
answer of
know.
yours ties
Yeah, I
back
try
to
to tie it back to
I know
legacy.
you're so good at that. So to tie it back to legacy, one of our franchisees, he 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 was doing a State of the Union update for all of our executives, and he was just talking about our sales training uh, part of it, and it was just funny because he's laughed. He's like, "Yeah, I decided I'm going to be the one that teaches about objection handling for this quarter," and we were all like, "Oh, okay." Like, wh why? Kenny, you actually know this person. Cash asked, "Why?"
Oh,
Okay.
And he's like, because my wife gives me all the objections all the time, and I'm a great at handling all hers, so I feel like I'm a pro. And we all like literally, there was about 40 of us. All 40 of us were like dying of laughter, like to the to the point where Allie was like, "He should say that on stage." He needs to say that on stage.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he's not wrong. That was an objection right there, and he had the answer right there.
oh, it was great.
If you can sell in your marriage, like
The
you can sell to anybody.
like he was just like, my wife asked me every question in the book. He was like, I just followed that. Uh, Abby, what before this ends, what's your number just so we can set up a
Yeah.
time to chat.
Yeah, text me just so I know it's you. It's 207.
Hold on. Can you write for me?
He just fell asleep at the
Oh,
end.
I could send it to him as well if you need it.
Yeah, Kenny, send it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Did
can you
you
do
fall
I
3-way
asleep
got
on
you.
the floor back there?
Yeah, he
You're
fell asleep in the chair next to me, and then he got off and he fell asleep on the
Yeah, I noticed. I
wheels
saw
of
him
my
knocked out.
wheels of
Abby?
my chair. I was like, yeah, it's time to put him
I
in
have
sleeping.
to
bed.
get going for
Yeah.
another meeting that I have at five
Yeah.
o'clock my time, but we definitely gotta chop it up the end of this
Yeah.
week, not beginning of this week.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
tomorrow next week would be great. Tomorrow it's getting booked up. Tuesday afternoon. Just send me a text message.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All
Yeah.
right, Kenny, it's always good to see you, bro.
Always, man. Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you soon.
Likewise, and
Thanks for being here.
always, Thomas, when you become a marketing guru, don't forget little old me who helped
Oh, absolutely.
in
Yeah,
this.
thank you for everything.
Great.
Of
Awesome,
course,
awesome advice.
of course. This is fun. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
start showing up instead of Allie.
Yeah, you'll have I don't know if I'll change the coupon code ever or not, but it'll be legacy until further notice. So
I like it. Awesome. You guys have a good day.
All right,
cool.
RJ.
You too.
Thank
Nice
you.
to
All right.
meet you.
Likewise.
All right.
Sweet, guys. This
Yeah,
was
that was pretty
oh
dope. I'm glad he made it today.
yeah.
He's a really good guy.
Yeah, so exciting. It's nice to occasionally have the smaller group settings. Like it's nice to have, Thomas, I was going to tell you about this too. So what I do, and like it hasn't really converted much, but I've made some really great relationships. I haven't had any sales yet as a result of it, but like long-term relationships, like I've made some great friends through this event.
Oh, yeah.
I recommend hosting one. And
Okay.
maybe something I'm playing around with the idea of, because it does like kind of burn me out a little bit, and I'm trying to figure out the balance and the boundary setting here with this. Um, I may be interested in having you host one. Everybody always wants to talk about marketing, and it's sometimes it's almost frustratingly so because I'll have the intention of having like other topics discussed,
Like
but
not marketing people, but other businesses needing marketing.
yeah, everybody.
Marketing.
Everybody. Like, what do I do? What do I do? I need help. What do I do? And
Yeah,
it
I could
always
pitch in
ends up
as well. Yeah.
leading.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you host your own too, I mean, what I do is I do put an ad budget to it. I do $1 a day, like not a
Yeah.
lot. And I do it for 6 days. My highest ticket sales when they're free are the following Friday and Saturday. And then the Wednesday, the day before the event. And
Okay.
I'm getting like anywhere from like 100 to 200 emails a week added to my email list. Like it's
Wow,
good. Yeah.
that's
Um,
pretty good.
Okay.
this week I really I had a couple issues with a couple people. Kenny, I told you about that. And then there was someone in the group chat last week. Did you read that message last week? There was someone that was like, is anybody even getting anything out of this? Like at 7:50. And it was like we'd
Wow.
all been talking. Everybody's like on the edge of their seats, like they were having such a great time. It was a great
That person
conversation.
hadn't even like gotten into the conversation.
The person hadn't said a word the
Yeah, like
whole
you're not
time.
gonna get much out if you don't engage. Like that's the
Yeah, he
it's
wasn't
like
even participating.
well, actually,
No,
even without engaging, there was plenty she could have gotten out of it just by
that's
listening.
the
It
thing.
was
Yeah,
a
there
good,
was
yeah, there was a
plenty.
lot that,
It
yeah,
was a
yeah, that
great
was crazy.
conversation. I
That
sent a direct message to that person, and I felt so bad. I almost didn't even sleep the night because as I was typing, someone was talking and I wasn't listening to them. And like, I don't like showing up like that. And I shouldn't have even sent the direct message. I should have just sent it right in the group chat because everybody was kind of wondering how I was gonna handle that. And I did talk about it
Hmm.
immediately afterwards. And I just like, in my very direct, a little polite, but mostly direct way, was saying, there are a lot of people getting a lot out of this. This is a free event. You are welcome to leave.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that I couldn't make it last week, because I actually have a history of like being able to shut those people down. Um,
It was in
so
the chat on the side, and a couple
man,
of people did respond and they did sign right out. Um, and honestly, after tonight, like it's great having the small group, but I do get all of those emails for my email list, and I have been kind of cherry picking some people out of my email list, so like giving them less access to me. I did remove my phone number. Although Thomas, you're welcome to have it too if you want it, and I'd be so willing to at least put you in front of my email list and maybe my social media people.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, did I connect with you on LinkedIn?
I am not on LinkedIn. I mean, I'm on there, but like you're not gonna connect with me there.
Got
You're
it.
gonna
Okay.
connect with like the old version of me from 10 years ago that's
Oh, got it. Okay.
dead and gone. I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
yeah, she
Oldwood
has some cool posts,
Biz
by the way.
Services. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I'll grab your Instagram and email if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat
Okay.
just so you get it right.
Absolutely, and Thomas, I do hope you keep coming back, man, because this is the whole spirit
I
of
will.
what it
I
is,
definitely
right?
will. Yeah.
Like even in
Yeah,
a bigger group, she still manages to make it feel intimate
Oh
as a
yeah.
small group.
thanks,
Actually,
Kenny.
there's only one other event that I've gone to that was really like worked for me, and it was a massive event, and it broke down into smaller groups. And even
Mm,
even even that, I feel like I got more out of your event last week and this week. So
thank you.
yeah,
One
no,
of the
it's great.
things so Diego, I got on a one-on-one with him and he's
Hmm.
fiery. Like I think he's got
Oh, me
great
too. I
energy.
met with him. Yeah.
I think he might overwork himself though. I worry about his longevity.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he told you about his family history or not, but that would
No.
explain it. That's all I'm gonna say. That'll do
Oh,
it.
I'm gonna connect with him
Yeah.
again. He did suggest like possibly doing breakout groups.
Hmm.
He suggested I pay for it, which will bring in higher ticket clients. But with the redirection of my membership, like really, really lasering in on startups, like I think I'm gonna go back to the free model,
Hmm.
because that's kind of the target market. Um, but he suggested the breakout rooms, and I ultimately I mean, this is totally selfish of me. I want to hear what everybody has to say.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going through everybody's minds, and like I don't want anybody to miss out on the gold that someone's going to share.
No,
So
the format is perfect just the way it
Yeah.
is.
And also, I feel like
thank
in
you.
the larger scene, I sometimes I'll like pick out somebody, depending on what their story is or who they are, I'll pick out somebody and be like, all right, that's somebody I want to connect with. And then
Yeah,
if you fit people into, the little smaller groups, it removes kind of that opportunity to connect with multiple different people. So,
Yeah.
which I
yeah,
feel like is the best part of these, networking events anyways, the ability to jump around and meet as many people in as short a period of time as possible. So.
No, same
yeah.
here, man. I was gonna say, and I just noticed I did not leave my info in the chat.
You didn't. I know
Going
it's
back
because
to,
it was
Oh yeah, me
good
neither.
small group.
let me
This
see. I'm gonna
and
leave
Kenny
this
has
here.
a great, I'm just gonna give some praise here for a minute. Kenny has coffee chats, which I think is like, Thomas, I don't know how old you are. Kenny is much younger than me. It's trending in
I'm
the
30.
younger working generation. 33?
30.
30. Okay, so you're
Yeah.
between us just about
Okay.
equally. The coffee chat thing, I totally swiped that idea from him. I have had to set some boundaries with that though, because being the host here,
Yeah.
this is a really bizarre concept for me. But like RJ called me an influencer too today. And this is a little bit crazy to me. But people are wanting those coffee chat times. And like had
Like
never really
one-on-one
done it
or?
before.
Yes.
One-on-one, 30-minute
Oh, interesting.
Google Meet calls. You'll get an invite to one tomorrow. And I'd be happy to do it. I had one guy who was booking them every week, trying to get
Oh, I know who that is. Yeah.
services out of me. He's no longer on my email list, unfortunately. Like at all. Like, and will not be, his orders will be canceled. I just can't. I just energetically can't, and it corrupts the meetings. And as much as my heart bleeds for this person because they're special needs, like it just is not working, and I need to protect my container. Anyway, the coffee chats. Get a link to coffee chats. You can also, I use my Google Calendar. I pay for Google, so my Google will do it for free. But like Kenny, I'm sure you're booking multiple every week.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's it looks like a book at this point.
Yeah. Can I ask you
But
a
yeah,
question, Kenny?
absolutely.
Have you gotten clients out of this container?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mentioned Adam the other day. It's funny because we are in the same field, but he's much like Thomas, like he's a startup. So I was kind of helping him go through the motions of, lead gen. Because fun fact, we're like a verified broker of lists. So we can help you with industries you're looking for,
You
ideal
can sell
clients.
actual lists.
Yeah,
That's
that's why I
cool.
brought up like ICPs.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he
What
needs help with that,
stuff?
and I got him.
You know, oh, my heart literally wants to burst out of my chest knowing that this is like doing stuff for people, this container. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'm not sure if you got my text the other day. But I just wanted to reassure you, like I know you were kind of overwhelmed, before the project that we were discussing, but I did want to let you know that it's no pressure at all. Everything should
I
happen on your
know.
time,
You're
irregardless of
amazing like
anything.
that. I'm just so grateful for you. Like for so many reasons. And like the time will come. I'm at ground zero and I need to like get some shit figured out a little bit
No,
because
I hear you.
otherwise I'm useless to my own self. I can't communicate well with others about
No, it's okay. I mean, if you got shit,
working
I'll
through
bring the wet wipes.
that.
I'll put it that way.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh my God. Oh, my heart is full. Thomas, are you on Instagram at all? Or just LinkedIn?
Yeah, I gotta get I got Instagram in like three places. I got a personal, I got a one from my old business. I got one from my side hustle. I don't have one for the new business yet.
Use your old
Uh,
business and change it.
yeah, I'll give you the one for the old business. Hold on.
Thomas, I'll be honest with you. I just noticed something that might make you one of my people.
Yeah.
Does your hat say Stark on it by any chance?
Oh yeah. My wife made this. Stark Industries.
You
No
just
freaking
RJ
way.
You
being
Bro,
down too.
you a Stark fan?
dude, you just
My
unlocked
it's my
my
kid's
nerdy
favorite
side.
hat
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah. You a big Marvel
Uh,
fan?
Big what?
Marvel fan?
Yeah.
Same here. We're gonna have to talk
Yeah.
about that another
Me and
day,
my
for
dad were
sure.
big on it.
I'm gonna
So
instigate. I
Mm-hmm.
am going to, well, this is a little bit like different, but I feel like you'll understand. I am going to a Renaissance fair next weekend.
Oh.
I am jazzed. Like,
pretty cool. Are you doing my brother does that. He's very creative. He like builds his own costumes. Are you like
so
costume
I've
up?
been, Kenny, there's one near you-ish, like in not upstate New York, but like near where I used to live. Um,
It's not at the Javits, is it? Or
no, not in Manhattan. It's
ah.
in Orange County.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
like Rockland or it's close to like Jersey, Nyack area.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like West Nyack. I know that area.
Yeah, kind of close. Yeah, a little like probably 20 minutes from Nyack. Yeah, I've got a costume.
Okay. Okay.
A few years ago, I went to one in New York State. I call it upstate, but it's not upstate. It's just not Manhattan. Um, and you get to these events and like just the buzz is so crazy that you buy shit that is irresponsible.
It's really impulsive. I'll
It's
admit.
so impulsive. I bought like this red silk cloak with like a huge hood that I've worn for years for Halloween. I spent like $400 on it.
Wow.
It's time for a costume
Isn't
change though. So I got like kind of a milkmaid sort of it's got like a corset
Hmm.
cloak thing. I am so excited. It's unbelievable. I can't even contain myself.
Hey, if you have any pictures of the outfit, I would definitely love to see for sure.
I
Because
will send it.
I have a little costume that I'm putting together right now. It's supposed to be for I don't know if you're familiar with uh Dragon Ball Z at all.
Like a little
Uh,
bit.
yeah, yeah. So just because I'm a big fan of like Trunks, I'm making like a suit, like well, you probably know this better than I do, Thomas, but the Vegeta suit with the blue and the gold and the white, that's the one that I'm making right now. The whole vest.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Do you
man. So
cosplay?
it would be my first time.
Okay.
I got a whole I did Wolverine last
Oh, that's dope.
Halloween. So I did the whole cosplay thing. Built the never thought I'd be on a networking event where you'd be brought out, but got the whole like,
Yes.
set up for Wolverine. So yeah, no,
Oh, dude, that's so
yeah.
dope.
That was me
Yeah.
last Halloween. We've been building my costumes and kids' costumes. We built my kid a speed racer car uh when he was 2.
Hmm.
I'm gonna end the
Yeah.
recording just because whoever is rewatching this is probably
Yeah,
not
be
gonna
like, what the hell are they talking about?
care like we do.